by sharing your story and sharing kind of like how you got started in the business and where you
Okay.
were at.
What'd you say?
And like where you were at 3.5
Okay,
years.
love
How
it.
long? 3 years ago?
3.5 years ago. It's kind of crazy. I was just thinking about that. Okay, so hi, I'm Katie. Gosh, 3.5 years ago, my life looked like way different. We had one little girl, and I had a second on the way, and I was a hairstylist. I worked a lot of hours. I taught classes. I volunteered. I had like zero extra time. I never got to see my little girl. I dropped her off at daycare every single day, and that was that. And I just like, not knocking daycare, but dang, like somebody else was raising my kid and I wanted to be with her and I hated it every single day. So I just finally I started watching Facebook. There was this girl, this random girl that I had no idea who she was, Alyssa Billio, and she's been posting about this business. And I was like, what is this? Like, I didn't believe her really. I was super skeptical. I kept just like putting it to the back of my head. Like I would just be like, no, I don't think so, whatever. And then one day I finally just got to the point, like I was 8 months pregnant at the time. And I was like, you know what? Like if I don't do anything different, like my life is going to stay the exact same. Like I'm going to keep going to work. The second baby's going to come, not going to see this one. Awesome. So I was like, you know what? I mean, what the heck? Why not? Why not try something different? So I got started and it changed everything for us. It was crazy. My first month, like I legit thought if I could make a couple $100 a month, like that would be amazing. Pay a little extra for daycare. But then I just like in my first month, I caught the vision of what this company could do. And I went Ruby my first month and was just like, holy cow, like $500 a month. What? For my phone? That's insane. And so I just, like I said, I caught the vision and just kind of started running. And 6 months in, I had matched my full-time income. 8 months in, I had tripled it. A year to the day almost that I started this business, I was able to come home and hang out with my kids every day and do whatever the heck I wanted. And so it's been a little over 2 years of me being at home with my kids every day and just kind of living this like dream life of getting paid to help people, you know, every single day, help people with their health goals, help people get financial freedom. It's been amazing. So we've earned $153,000 in bonuses so far, which is crazy town. I'm going presidential this month, which is also crazy town. We've got a fourth baby on the way, which probably wouldn't be possible if I was still working full time. And it's just, like I said, it's changed everything. It's been amazing. So that is that in a nutshell.
I freaking love it. Okay, so I just like, I love your story when you're like, if this girl posts one more time, then yes. I'm just doing it. Tell that part. That's my favorite part.
Dude, so the night that I got started with this business, like Alyssa had been making like 1 million posts and I didn't even know it was BOGO wraps at the time. Didn't even know. But I was sitting there in the house with my husband and I was sitting there and I was like, gosh, dang, like, should I do this business? And I talked to him and he was like, why not? Like, just try it. And I was like, okay. It was already like, it was probably 10 o'clock at night. And I was like, if this chick makes one more post tonight, then I'm supposed to join this business. And literally I'm scrolling down Facebook like 30 minutes later. And what do you know? Literally she made a post that said like, I want some like moms that want to come home to their babies and be stay-at-home moms. And I was like, what? Okay, well, guess I'm signing up. So I literally texted her and I was like, ready to get started. Like I had never liked one of her posts. I had never spoken to her. Just handed her my social security number, like whatever. I was like, what?
I love it too, because sometimes like I even think about your story sometimes and I'm like, it's already too late. Like I don't think I'm gonna make a post tonight. And I'm like, nope. What if I find a Katie?
Gotta do it. There's somebody out there watching you.
I know. I love it. So okay. So I always say like Taylor Flanders is like the most underrated person and it works, but like you're right there with her. Like you and her, like seriously, I feel like, you know, you just stay like below the radar. And I just want people to know like how freaking amazing you are. So kind of just share like what your enrollments typically are, because you just beast it out. And just share like a little bit kind of about how you do that each month, because I think a lot of times, you know, people look and they're like, oh, well, she quit her job, so she has all the time in the world.
Yeah.
Right. Or like, oh, well, I mean, don't forget we did this business full time, working in a job for like a year again. And we were able to, you know, have the income to quit our job. So kind of talk about that. But first, just talk about like your enrollments each month and what your goals are.
My goal is to beat myself every single month. And at the beginning of this year, I went back and I wrote down, like I went through my planner, and last January, I just shared with my team about this, so I have the numbers right here in my head, but last January I signed 3 DTs and 30 loyal customers. And going into this month, I was like, I don't care what anybody else is doing. I'm going to beat myself. I'm going to be a better me than I was January 2018. So right now I've almost doubled that. And like, again, like I said, there's people out there that have done more than me, and people out there that are like signing 3,000 loyal customers a month, but I'm beating myself every single month. So that's always my goal. Every single month is to outdo myself the month before, outdo myself what I did the year before at that same exact time. So that is that. Really with enrollments, you guys, I do whatever. I do it all. I just literally like, I'm like crazy. I message people. I think that everything works. Like if you do it right, I message people, I cold message people. I do host a post, like it's going out of style. I talk to as many people as I possibly can. Like if it works for somebody, it could work for me. So I like slip it in my day a little bit. I guess hustle. And like Kelsey said, like, I know I do this full time, but my days are crazy. I'm about to have 4 kids, like a little nuts around here. And, you know, sometimes we've got doctor's appointments and I don't know, other crap that I have to do. And so I just kind of slide this in. I'm a very scheduled person, but I just schedule at the beginning of the week, like when I'm working. And every day, like, I don't care if I could go to the mall and like do whatever. Like, no, if it's during my work time, I'm working. So I'm just really consistent with like working every day and doing what I need to do to get my enrollments up every day, beat myself what I did the day before, the month before, year before. So,
how do you do that like on the weekends?
I work all weekend. I think a lot of people take the weekend off. I'm like, what are you doing with your life? You know, it looks slightly different just because my husband's home, my kids are here. So I work, I guess, different hours than what I would normally set for myself, but that means I get up earlier or I just stay up later, you know, and I just get it in. You just got to get it in.
Yep. It's like a workout. It doesn't matter when you do it. You just have to do it. So, you know, too, like also don't forget, like you had a freaking kid home for the last year. Like she just went back to daycare.
She just went back to school. Thank the Lord.
Yes.
She is needy. Oh my gosh. And she was home with me. My youngest was home with me for the whole first year of her life, which was awesome. I, you know, quit my job to come home to my kids, but dang. And so now she goes to morning school 4 days a week. So I can just go to Starbucks. I go to Starbucks every morning and work for like almost 4 hours. It's amazing. But, you know, we've got a 4th one on the way. And so this one's going to be home with me as well for the first year. And so my schedule will kind of change again. You just got to change with your life.
Yeah. And so how do you think like you've become like so disciplined, and like when you aren't, like or I guess like when things get out of whack, right? Because we're all human, we all have life happen. You know, how do you kind of just get yourself back into it? Because I think, you know, we can say, okay, that's great when everything's going right and nothing happens, but then, you know, bang, somebody gets sick or this happens. Like, how do you kind of just pull yourself back together and be like, get a grip? Okay, let's do this.
I talk to myself like a lot.
Yes, give us some self-talk. Give us some self-talk tips. Give us a conversation between you and yourself.
Look in the mirror at myself, or like sometimes I'll sit in the dark, just a little creepy, but I'll just sit in the dark and just like talk to myself and be like, you've got this, like get your head in this. But dude, stuff happens to all of us. My gosh, stuff with my kids all the time. Like stuff doesn't go as planned. You just got to roll with the punches. Give yourself like a little bit of grace. And you know, if something happens, say one of my kids are sick tomorrow in the morning when I'm typically supposed to be working. I mean, that sucks. That's annoying. What are you going to do though? Guess I got to work tomorrow night. You know, you just got to roll with it. I I've had sucky months in this business that things didn't go as planned either. I think that's also like a big thing. Sometimes people get thrown off because you didn't hit your goal, or so-and-so quit, or whatever, this and that. You just gotta like psych yourself up. Just like get back to it, dude. Like, you started this for a reason. Remember your why. Remember why you started this. Every time for me, what works is like, if I'm sitting in the dark by myself, I'll imagine going to my kids and being like, sorry, dude, like, you can't have this, that, or the other because mommy gave up on her dreams and our dreams because I didn't have what it took, and how, like, sit there and think how sucky that would feel to tell them that, and then better get to work,
Yeah, for sure. I love that. And like, talk about the comparison game, because I think a little bit, it's hard. I think especially too, when you get to a certain level, and to be honest, like, it doesn't really get better. You just get stronger. That's why I tell myself, like, it's not going to get easier, to not compare yourself. It's not going to get easier to do this business and choose this business every day, because we don't, we see posts all the time that are like, oh, I made one decision to change my life. Like, no, you didn't. You make a decision every single day to continue to change your life. And so when you think about, the times that you've struggled, because I just want people to know, like, it's great when it's great, but there are going to be hard parts when you just feel like, dang, like you said, you missed a goal or you didn't hit this. But, persevering through that. And like you said, picking yourself up. But just like, I want you to kind of share like one of the greatest like failures / learning moments that you've had in the business, and what you learned from it, because I always think there's so much power in that.
There's been a lot, you guys. I'll be super real with you. Like, this business has not been all roses, like, has not been all uphill. I have lost rank at times. I have lost bonuses at times. I have had entire legs crumble and quit on me. I have had people that have, sworn they'd be in this with me till the end of time block me and peace out. I've not hit goal, like, literally anything you can probably imagine in the like 3.5 years, it's happened to me. And I mean, what the heck am I gonna do? Quit and just like say I gave up on my dreams? Like, no, that's not gonna get me any closer to where I wanted to be. Stuff has sucked sometimes. You just gotta keep going. I think probably the hardest time of my entire business was in November. Like I said, I've had a lot of hard stuff happen. But in November, I literally believed with everything in me that I was going presidential diamond. Believed it with everything in me. I put the work in. I put the work in every single day of my business. So I was like, you know what? Like, this is happening. I'm going to work like my life depends on it this month, just like I do every month. And I know that God has this for me. It is happening. And the 25th of the month came, and it got really real to me that it probably won't happen. And then, the last couple days of the month came, and it was for sure like, it's not happening this month. And I had to watch somebody else go presidential that had been in this business a year less than I had. And I can't even, like, I could cry right now because it's the hardest thing I've ever been through. And just because I felt with everything in me that it was happening, and it was the hardest month of my business to date. I'm sure there will be more that will probably trump it, whatever. But I've not taken a day away from social media in 3.5 years. And I had to literally take the 1st of December and just be away from my phone, because I literally was just crushed, like absolutely crushed. That's the only way I can describe it. And I cried and cried and cried and cried. And
it's not funny, but it's
it was not funny, but it is now. I was angry. I was sad. I was literally sitting there like wrestling with God. Like, you showed me that I was going presidential. Why the heck am I not presidential? I put in the work. Like, what the heck? I was pissed. And I just literally, like, I took that day, and then I that night I was just like, you know what? Like, My team needs me. They need me to rally and like, let's go show them that even when things get tough and things don't go your way, that you can still get up and go. And I'm not going to lie, like it took like, I was a little going through the motions for the first 2 days of December. But I got back up and ran, because what else are you going to do? Like sit and cry in a corner? Like exactly what I said earlier. Like it's not going to get me any closer to where I want to go. So it sucked big time. Toughest time in my business. But you know what? I feel like everything's for a reason. I feel like you look back 6 months down the road and you're like, oh, okay, this is why. You know what I mean? So you just got to trust the process. You got to trust that God has you where you are for a certain time, for a certain reason, all that good stuff. You just got to keep going.
Yeah, it's crazy. At church this weekend, it talked about, just everything that God does through you is typically through difficult times, because that's when faith is grown.
Yeah.
Like faith doesn't grow like when you already have the blessing. Like, oh, I got the blessing. Yep, let me just have faith. Right, I already got it, right? But it's grown during the times when you don't have it and when you don't understand, but you're trusting anyways.
Yeah.
And I think too that, for me, there's been so many times in my business when I've had similar things happen where it's like, this is so embarrassing. Like I remember in September, a year before I went presidential, I claimed presidential on our triples and above page. Yep. And I like put it out there for everybody to see. And like, I was like, we're doing it. Didn't happen.
Next year. I know.
And it's like, it's so devastating because you do believe, and it makes you gun shy moving forward. And it's like, but that's not fair. Because what are you saving? What are you saving that for? What are you saving that passion for? So thank you for sharing that. What do you like? Do you feel like you've learned something from that? Like, do you feel like you're like, you look back and you're like, dang, I'm like a badass, like, dude, for going through that.
But I just feel like, I feel like my leaders, they knew how bad I wanted it and how upset it was. And they saw me come back that very, take that day off.
Is that your dog?
Yes.
I was literally like, who is not muted on this?
I have a 180-pound Mastiff. She's a freaking beast. And she's coming in here like drinking her water, sounding like a horse or something. So just disregard. Juliet, go away. Gosh dang. What was I saying?
Fine, I've written on her before. It's no big deal.
What am I even saying? I forget.
Just so what you learned from that.
Oh, okay. But anyways, I feel like my team saw me be crushed and hurt and sad and angry and whatever, and just get back up and go. And I feel like for me, it felt good to be able to be like, guys, it's going to happen to you too. At some point, something's not going to go your way. This is what you do. You get back up and you run towards your goals, and we're going to do this together, and it's going to be okay. So I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like at the end of that, I just learned like, I'm strong and I can get through that, and I can show my team and lead by example and show them exactly what to do when you don't reach your goals.
Yeah. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, let's talk about like your freaking organization, because it's just goals, and I just want you to explain to people like how you do what you freaking do.
I feel like it's a little bit different for me because I am just like naturally like an organized person. Like I have to have stuff set up, but if you guys don't have a planner, get a freaking planner. Like a planner saves my life every day. I write down everything in my planner. I write down Zooms. I write down who I need to follow up with. Like every time, I'm trying to see if I have my planner here. I don't. It's out in the living room. But in the front page, I have the It Works planner. In like the front page of each month, it says like your steps of success. So I write everybody down there who I've signed. And then immediately, as soon as I sign them, I go write their name down in my planner 5 days before their shipment's going to ship for the next 2 times. And then I write their name down right after like 2 weeks after their 3rd shipment is shipped. So I can make sure I'm going, hey, like, let me tell you what I'm going to give you for like keeping your order going so that I can keep people for 6 months, 12 months and beyond. I just write everything down. Like if I don't have it written down, it's not happening. It will slip my mind within 2 seconds. And then I was going to show you too, I just made like a spreadsheet
Yes.
My iPad is like my BFF.
I just got one too.
Did you get it? You love it?
I'm obsessed with this little thing because I'm a writer.
Okay, so I'm just going to show you. So I made these spreadsheets. What is this for? Potential distributors. Okay, so I made these little spreadsheets. I don't know if you can see, but it just says basically name, like their Instagram or Facebook, if their Facebook name's different. Just notes about them and then follow-ups. But literally, my goal is always to fill up like 5 to 6 of these sheets each month with potentials. And then I just keep those all in my iPad. And so literally everything is right there. So when you go back for like follow-ups or whatever, sales, BOGOs, it's all right there. But I would really recommend just getting organized with your potentials, getting organized with your current customers. Like, I mean, you can make a spreadsheet, you don't have to, you can do it in a notebook, like whatever works for you, but just get organized, like keep everything written down. Because if you're just trying to like remember everything, you will not, and you will drop the ball and then you will feel like you suck and it's not fun. So that's kind of my.
What about like for your, like what are your like daily non-negotiables?
Okay, so I wrote these down so I wouldn't forget, even though I do them every day. So my daily non-negotiables. Every single morning, I start my morning with prayer. I pray for my team every single morning. I do my devotions and I journal. I think that's kind of huge, you guys. Journaling has like changed the game for me. Just like writing down what I'm thankful for, what I want to accomplish that day, what I want to accomplish that week, and being able to like look back through that and see how like God has answered prayers and how, just my business has changed and evolved and all that. It's awesome. Next, I do self-development. Like if you don't do anything for your business tomorrow, do self-development, you guys. And I know Kelsey preaches this, but holy cow, it is. I'd say my first couple months in the business, I thought it was stupid. And I was just like, why do I need to do that?
I thought it was for people who were suicidal. So it's like,
and so finally I just decided to try it and everything changed. Like my mindset changed. I am a completely different person than I was 3.5 years ago. I was like reddest of the red, kind of an a-hole. I was a completely different person 3.5 years ago. And self-development is like what has helped me. I'm still not perfect. Got a long way to go. But next is follow-ups. I follow up with people every single day. Like today I went through and I followed up with everybody that I talked to yesterday. And every single day I do that. Next is messaging. Like I said, I do everything. I cold message. I ask people to do host a post for me. I just message. So I do that. Posting is a non-negotiable for me, and then adding to my network.
You do the same thing on Instagram and Facebook?
Yep. I ask more people to do host a post for me on Facebook than I do on Instagram, but that's the only thing that's really different.
Yeah. And your stories on your Facebook and Instagram are the same? You link them?
It's not linked right now because something happened and I don't know how to get it back.
Something happened to mine too.
I'm stupid, actually. So I need to do that. Thank you for reminding me. But I just go in right now and I just do the same thing. Like they're not linked, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Okay. So how many people do you like add daily?
Right now on Facebook, it's hard because I've been like maxed out. So every day I'm trying to go through and like clean out like 10 to 15 people so I can go add.
One thing that I cleared out 150 people this way. I went through on my desktop.
Yeah.
And I just looked at my friends, and the people who have like grayed out profiles are like deactive ones.
Really?
And I just unfriended like the ones that just have like the gray box, like they just like canceled their account or shut it down or whatever.
Why do you do that then?
Yeah, it was literally the easiest thing, but I think it has to be on a laptop. But I just kept scrolling, and it was like so easy to just pick them out. And it was like, because I'm the same way as you. I've been stuck at 5,000 for a while, and it's very hard.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Okay, sweet. I love it. So yeah, I'll do that, and then on Instagram it's like 100 a day.
Yeah. What about like what do your follow-ups look like? Like, do you just like annoy people and you're like, hello, or how do you?
I literally will follow up with you to the day that I die. I have girls on my team that I signed after literally stalking them for 2 years, sending them monthly messages. Like, I don't know how they decided to actually finally join me, because they're probably like, you're a psycho. But
knowing you was like on the same day each month, same time.
Whatever. I follow up daily, like I said, so I do that. And then I also follow up weekly. I do follow up Friday as well, like mass follow up. I do follow ups monthly. And then I just I write everything down. Like I said, I write everybody down. So I have people on my list that I've been like, had my eye on since 2015, and I will still send them messages. Like, hey, you changed your mind? Still here. I'll always send people like creepy gifts and like, whatever. I don't care.
So funny. What's like a follow-up message that's working for you, or do you change it up depending on the person?
I kind of switch it up just depending on like what our conversation's been. If they've been ignoring me, like a lot of times I'll just be like, hi, still here. Like legit, that's all I'll say. Or I'll just be like, hey, did I piss you off? I hope I didn't. A lot of times I'll just say, hey, I know you're interested in the cleanse. I've got a new discounted product tester spot open, and I thought of you first. Do you want it this month?
Love that.
I don't know, just stuff like that. I'll say anything.
Yeah. What do you think like your time is, your business versus helping your team?
I was trying to think about that when you told me about that. I'd say like literally at least 80% is my business. I spend a lot of time on my business because I feel like, gosh, the one way that you can like get out of feeling stuck or get out of feeling a rut is go like sign some new rock stars, and it literally just brings everything like back, like, oh my gosh, it's so fun again. So I spend a lot of time on my business, growing my business, reaching out to new people, but I also every day I'm connecting, especially with my leaders and my new people. I would say, that 80% is mine. And then that 20%, or I'd say like 15% is my leaders and my newbies, and 5% other people.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
What do you think is like your best tip for like leadership and like how you've grown? Like what's like probably the best advice you gave yourself, or a thing you've learned just along the way, besides not being an a-hole?
Yeah. It's always good to learn.
Yeah.
I feel like I kind of look at leadership like a little bit like parenting, because it kind of is. And I always just kind of think about like what I don't want to be, because I feel like if you can figure out what you don't want to be, it's pretty easy to figure out who you want to be. You know what I mean? So like a lot of times in parenting, like what do I not want to be? I do not want to be like a hovering helicopter mom. Because what happens when you are a helicopter mom? You get kids that are literally scared of their shadow. They're walking along in the yard, and you're just like, oh, like don't do this. Like, I hope you don't get hurt over here. Like, oh my gosh, they're scared of everything. So in leadership, like, I don't want to be hovering over my distributors and be like, oh, here, watch out for this, like this. Like, no, I want people that are not scared to fail. I want people that are ready to just go out and like do it for themselves and experience and be okay with failure and learning along the way. So that I don't want to do. So that kind of tells me what I do want to do. I want to give them space, to figure out things for themselves, because I'm not like the end all be all. I don't have all the most amazing tips for everybody. I just know what works for me, and I can give you advice on what works for me, but you got to figure it out for yourself. And then the other thing that I really don't want to be is like a lawnmower parent. Like a lawnmower parent basically is when their kid's walking around and they see something in their way. Like instead of being the hover, being like, oh gosh, like move over here, the lawnmower parent just like swats it out of the way before their kid can even get to a difficulty. So then you raise up kids that don't know how to deal with life. Like they don't know what to do when like stuff crumbles. And the same as leadership goes, like I want my people to fail. I want my girls to fail. I want them to know how to deal with their life when crappy stuff happens and goals don't get hit and all that. Like I want them to know what to do, and so they don't just crumble under the pressure. and just like curl up in a ball and cry. So I feel like leadership wise, I've always focused on like, I don't want to hover over my distributors. I don't want to like knock things out of their way so that they don't know how to deal. And then that has helped me, I guess, really just try and do the opposite. I want to be there for my girls, but I don't want to baby them. I want to like help them deal with stuff when it sucks instead of taking it all away and making sure they don't like get hurt. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so good. I'm just sitting over here learning. I'm just like, okay, teach me. Just teach me. Just taking it all in. Where do you find these parenting books? I need them. Okay. So, you know, what have you been doing right now to maximize like ThermoFight X?
So again, my spreadsheet, somebody I saw asked in the chat, I can send like a snapshot to Kelsey and she can share it in like your team page or something. But really like when ThermoFight X dropped, we were in a hotel, hanging out with our kids for the weekend, and I had my iPad, of course, and I was like, okay, I gotta go. Like, I'm gonna go sit in bed. And I just pulled up my potentials chart, and I pulled up my current customer chart, and I went through every single person on both of those charts. And for like my current customers, like, holy crap, you're one of my VIPs. I have a special deal for you. It's coming out, blah, blah, blah. Do you want to get in on this? And then for my potentials, I know you were interested in this. We happen to have this new thing, and holy cow, you're going to be obsessed. Do you want in on this? So I took hours and just went back through my current customers and through all my potentials. And then I've just been posting about it kind of nonstop, like every single day.
It's amazing.
It's so amazing. I wish I could take it. I'm like really bummed out about it.
You'll take it soon enough and you'll have some bomb.
We'll take it right in the hospital. Like, let's go.
Well, right after you take your before pictures.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. Let's see that.
Oh my gosh. No. Okay. Well, is there anything else that you want to like leave people with, like just going into conference, like how to maximize like the experience and just like the momentum that's happening right now, just like whatever is on your heart to share. You know, I hate like being the person that I don't want to extend the Zoom to like an hour because it's supposed to be an hour, right? Like we're just gonna feel it.
Like short and sweet. I don't have a lot to say ever. You guys, especially coming into conference season, I shared this with my team last week because it's just been on my heart like so heavily, I think just because of what I went through here in this last couple months. But you're going to get to conference season, you're going to see all these people recognized and all these people that you could just compare yourself to, and you just have to realize that this is your journey and God has you on this path and where you are for a specific reason, and there's stuff for you to learn before you can go to the next level, because there's going to be stuff that happens to the next level that you wouldn't be prepared for if you had not gone through the hard stuff. So I think really just throwing the comparisons out the window and just getting really competitive with yourself and forgetting, I mean, take inspiration from the people on stage, take inspiration from the people that are, you know, walking 150 and top 20 or whatever. That's amazing. But this is you and your business, and you're getting better than yourself every single day. Really just that. And gosh, with the momentum, just don't stop. Like when you feel like you're tired and you want to like go to bed, work for half an hour longer. Like you literally will never regret doing a little bit more every day, especially when momentum is like this. It's been 3.5 years, and I swear, like right now is like the craziest time in this business that I have seen. It's been amazing. So you got to just keep going while the momentum is here. Never, ever, ever, ever stop when there's momentum. Keep it going, like write it out as long as you possibly can. Into conference season, out of conference season. Take it all in at conference. If you've never been before, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you. It's amazing. It's so amazing. But just go into it with just like an open mind and just run with everything that everybody says. Pay attention to what, you know, people are talking about on stage, because success leaves clues. You know, like I said, don't take inspiration from those people. Don't compare yourselves to them, but take inspiration. So.
Well, I love you and I'm so grateful for you. Thank you so much for hopping on and just spending some time with us. And I'm just so proud of everything that you've done. And I know, you know, it hasn't been like the easiest season for you, but I know like your time is freaking coming and you're going to have the most amazing stories to share with everybody. And you already do. And you've literally inspired me so much. I'm just like so excited. That was literally so good.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Can we hang out soon? Okay.
Yes. Come to Starbucks.
Okay, bye. Bye, guys. Thank
you. Love you. Bye. Bye.